The Buckeye road trip continues. This time they travel to South Bend to take on the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. First quarter action, Haskins hits Victor on the slant route for 13 yards in the first down. Then the two would link up one more time, this time for a gain of 13 in the first. A few plays later, Weber goes up the gut with a hard run of 8 yards. Later in the drive, Demario McCall goes up the middle for a gain of 7 in the first and goal for the Buckeyes. Then 2-5 would punch it in from a yard out. Buckeyes up early 7-0. But here come the Irish. Tony Jones Jr. takes a sweep left. He makes a cut and has a lot of green in front of him. He's finally brought down after a gain of 24 yards. Later in the drive, Jones again takes the handoff. He gets a block and he springs out, finally tackled after a gain of 20. Irish try to go option left, but Book is destroyed by Rashad Berry. Then Book drops back again. He has all the time in the world to throw, but Devon Hamilton gets to him for the sack. And the D-line does it again. Book drops back and gets drilled by Bryant Neal. That's his first sack as a Buckeye. It would lead to a Fighting Irish field goal. But the Buckeyes look to answer quickly. Haskins drops back. He hits Jalen Harris across the middle. He makes a move, and he is gone. 65 yards to the house. Jalen Harris puts the Buckeyes up 14-3. After an Irish 3 and out, Weber goes up the middle for a strong run of 9 yards. Next play, Haskins goes option right. He drops his shoulder and picks up 9. Then Mike Weber gets the handoff. He finds a crease on the right-hand side and fights his way for a gain of 15 yards. A few plays later, Haskins drops back, and he hits KJ Hill on the outside. He fights his way into the end zone from 16 yards out. The offense is rolling. Irish look to answer. Book hits his big tight end, Alize Jones, on the outside for a gain of 11 yards. It would lead to another Irish field goal. Buckeyes offense back on the field. Weber goes up the middle for a gain of 14 yards. Then Haskins shows off his arm. He goes play action, scrambles out to his right, sets his feet, and throws it up for Austin Mack, who gets behind the secondary, and he strides into the end zone. TD number 3 on the day for Dwayne Haskins. But the Irish are still fighting. Book drops back, and he hits Jones on the sideline for a pickup of 15 yards. Then Book again to the air. He hits Claypool across the middle for a gain of 14 yards. But the Irish would get knocked out of field goal range after this huge loss on this screenplay, setting the Buckeyes up at the half, 28-6. Second half starts with Jones taking a handoff up the middle for a gain of 13 yards and a big first down. Then Book drops back and hits Severson on the sideline with a beautiful touch pass for 15. But the drive would get blown up by Nick Bosa to force the field goal. The Irish set up the field goal. The kicker leaves it short, and Demario Call is back deep to catch it. He starts left. He cuts it back right. He turns the corner, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a kick 6 to the house. 104 yards, Demario McCall with another special teams touchdown. But the Fighting Irish continue to fight. Book drops back and hits Boykin on the slant route. He picks up 24 yards. A few plays later, Book hits Boykin on the outside with another great touch pass, this time for the first down. Then Ian Book drops back and hits Claypool on the outside for a gain of 14, and they would cap off the drive with this slant route to Boykin. Notre Dame finally gets on the board and into the end zone, but the ground game was dominant again. Weber goes up the gut for a gain of 16 in the first. Then Haskins gets a little greedy. He goes play action. He scrambles to his right and throws it up for KJ Hill, but is picked off by Studstill. But the Irish could not capitalize on the turnover. Haskins would make up for his mistake. He absolutely drops a dime to Grimes, and he is gone. 64 yards to the house. The young wideouts for Ohio State are balling in this game. The Irish look to respond, but Book is introduced to the no-fly zone. Sean Wade gets his first interception on the year, and it's back to the ground for the Buckeyes. Haskins goes option right. He drops his shoulder and gets another 9 yards. Next play, Mike Weber goes up the gut, and he fights his way for a gain of 14. Then 2-5 would punch it in for the second time today. Buckeyes up big on the Irish. And Notre Dame continues to throw. Book finds Boykin across the middle for 12 yards. Then Book would drop back again. He can't find anybody, and the pressure gets to him. Rashad Berry gets his first sack on the day. Then the Irish will try to set up the screen pass, but Book is picked off by Wes May, and he is gone. Nobody will catch him. 65 yards to the house. Offense scores, defense scores, and the special team score today. Buckeyes roll big, 56-20. Dwayne Haskins had a great bounce-back game, 10 of 14 for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns. 2-5 finished the game with 152 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Harris, Mack, Grimes, and Hill all had TD receptions. The Silver Bullets had a strong game as well. Woodby finished with 9 tackles and a sack. Wes May had the big pick 6. Neal, Berry, and Hamilton each had a sack today. And don't forget, Demario McCall had that kick 6. An all-around dominating performance by the Buckeyes. Next week, they go on the road again, this time to Evanston to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're brand new. Don't forget, follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at BigCGatGame. Links are in the description. And the next video that you get will be the deep dive, looking at the recruiting class and going in depth into the stats and everything that's going around the country. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will check you out in the next video. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.